and welcome to the 2009 Magic the Gathering World Championships. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David Marshall, and it is team finals time. China is making its first Sunday appearance in essentially any format in the history of the tour. They've been punching above their weight in the team competition for a couple years, and they got all the way there. They're into the finals. They are playing this match against Austria. The Austrians finished runner-up a couple of years ago. They've had a lot of good Magic players over the years, and they would love to finally win the team title. This match we're going to start on is a Legacy match. Each different match is a different constructed format. Legacy, Extended, Standard, and we start on Legacy. China's Li Bo against Austria's Benjamin Rasson.
Benjamin is led off with a duress. He sees a handful of days, standstill, Mutavault, Wasteland. Probably going to take the standstill here.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, doesn't really want to let... Hey, he would have to pop the standstill eventually. Ooh, turn one Magus of the Moon in Extended.
So Bernard Lehner, who's playing the Extended
for the
Austrian team, is playing all-in red.
Yes.
Which has apparently been a blast for him, although it has given him fits in sideboarding.
Really?
Because on multiple matches during the team rounds, he has essentially killed his opponent on turn one and only gotten to see a land or two out of their deck.
So he doesn't know what they're
playing. And
playing?
actually has no information about how to sideboard during the Swiss rounds.
That's
he
funny.
Obviously knows what to do.
Yeah, he gets the deck list here. He knows his opponent, Jiang Zhang from China, is playing essentially Thopter Foundry deck. You know, there's a Time Sieve thrown in for fun. Basically, you know, Tezzeret, Thopter Foundry, setting up the Sword of the Meat combo.
Looks like a Tezzerator deck.
Yeah, pretty much Tezzerator.
So I got to watch Li Bo play a match of Legacy earlier this weekend against Sebastian Thaler on the German national team.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Thaler is playing stacks. He leads off.
Sure, smoke stacks.
He leads off and he plays Ancient Tomb. At which point Li Bo is like, I need to read that card. And, Sebastian's like, really? And he's like, there are basically 20 people in China who play Legacy. He's like, I play Extended, I play Standard. I don't really know the cards before that. I had to learn them for this format.
Right.
So he sort of learned his deck and how to play it, but he doesn't know the cards. And he basically read every card in Game 1 except for Mox Diamond until he conceded to a smokestack on turn 3.
Wow.
And then proceeded to win the match.
Fetch.
All right, Rasson's going to use a fetch land. No. Li Bo has wasted a land and now played a Mutavault, sitting on those couple of dazes. Underground Sea from Rasson. Okay. Haven't got a look at his hand.
That German revised.
Yeah, I think so. That's what my Black Border duels look like. Can't afford the betas, that's for sure. All right, and there's Rasson's hand. He's got a top, he's got a Thoughtseize, Cabal Ritual. Goes for the Divining Top here. Trying to build up for one turn where he finishes clear, makes sure he clears a path, and makes sure he can resolve ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Knowing about those days.
Li Bo is thinking about double days.
Oh, does he days?
He's thinking about paying for days and then alternate casting costing days. Perhaps, or he may have drawn something else.
Is that the right play? And the top's pretty annoying, right? I mean, he's gonna lose the long game to that top.
Oh, pay one.
And that's exactly what he does.
Yep, trades 2 daces for the top.
Go.
I think Rasson's quite happy with that result, too.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have to play around the daisies anymore.
Yep.
And we know Rasson's holding
there's Curse Catcher.
Thoughtseize.
What does Curse Catcher do exactly?
Curse Catcher, you can sacrifice it to force a player to pay one more for a instant or sorcery.
Cards in hand. 2. Wow.
Let's see, Lion's Eye Diamond. There's the Tendrils in hand and Lotus Petal. So Rasson has the ability to play his entire hand and Tendrils, but it's only for like 6?
their attacker? Yeah, you can attack.
Wow.
Put it in this.
China is up a game.
Okay.
Xiang Zhang, despite being Blood Moon, he drew a basic island, one of the 4 in his deck. He had a Chrome Mox. He was able to play Tezzeret despite being under a Blood Moon. So China is up a game and extended already. I mean, we really haven't seen a lot of Chinese players on tour. I mean, often they have trouble getting the visas that they need in order to attend the tours. Yeah, we had a top 8 at Kuala Lumpur. I believe the first mainland Chinese player to do that. So we have seen them on Sunday once.
It resolves.
The one PT I missed, of course. That's why I couldn't remember.
That's one PT I've missed.
One card in here.
Jite comes
Yes.
down for Libo.
Okay. Maybe you beat me? Who is he? Honda? Please.
Ponder.
Ozone looks very confident.
For you to look at what he's pondering. A lot of this match definitely lives in the hands.
Yeah, there's not a lot of onboard tricks in the ad nauseum deck.
So he's got Thoughtseize, Cabal Ritual, Lotus Petal, another Cabal Ritual, Tendrils,
One
and a
card.
Lotus
Yes, just that.
Lion's Eye Diamond, and a Lotus Petal. Right. So how do you play this? I mean, it's just he doesn't have enough to actually Tendrils out. Doesn't even have so.
Does it looks like he might have an ad nauseum in there.
I didn't see one. Oh, in the pile he's pondering.
In his hand, I thought. Last card didn't look like it was in English, so I wasn't certain. He is still pondering his ponder here.
Thoughtseize, 2 Cabal Ritual, Lotus Petal.
Draw? Okay. Thoughtseize?
All right, there's Thoughtseize. Let's see what you got going on. Gets the Lord. So it looks like Bo chose not to Curse Catcher there, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, he has now found Ad Nauseam. So he's cleared a path. He's got Ad Nauseam. Just has to worry about the Curse Catcher.
Yep.
Curse Catcher picks up a Jitte, attacks for 1, and picks up a couple of counters. Potentially means he has to Tendrils for a little bit more, but that's rarely a problem. Now, the interesting thing, like
He's got to fight through that 1 extra mana that the Curse
right,
Catcher
right. Well, if
represents.
he can resolve 1 Cabal Ritual, he's got it. I don't think he... Oh, he plays Lotus Petal, and then he's potentially got Lotus Petal to sack. Yeah, I think he can play around that. So it looks pretty good here. He's got Threshold for the Cabal Rituals, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 7 cards in the graveyard. So if he leads with Lotus Petal, then he's got the mana to potentially pay if Curse Catcher tries to stop a Cabal Ritual. And then the Cabal Ritual, he'll probably have an extra mana the whole time.
Spell.
1 spell.
Cabal
Yeah,
Ritual.
here's Cabal Ritual.
And 5 mana.
5 mana because he's got Threshold. 2 spells. Lotus Petal saves him from the Curse
I got
Catcher.
Threshold. 7 cards. Okay. 5 mana.
Well, here you get to see Ad Nauseam in action. And there's the Ad Nauseam, just straight out of the gates.
No mana. Yeah, 3 spells.
With
Resolve.
no mana left. Why would he do it with... Didn't he have another Cabal Ritual in his
He's going
hand?
to hit land.
Spells, right? Yeah.
Why would you not play more Cabal Rituals just to have mana floating? What am I missing? Isn't he opening up a potential Curse Catcher loss? land, of course. Brainstorm. He's got plenty of life.
Taken 3 so far.
Can't use the Lion's Eye effectively. Okay, Chrome Moxes are going to give him plenty of mana. Brainstorm. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 9. Leather Petal. Yeah, he's got everything he needs.
Yeah, he's figured it out.
So he's down to 7. Cabal Ritual knocks him down to 5.
Continue.
I mean, now if he hits,
I'm thinking.
like he loses if he flips Ad Nauseam, right? So he's probably supposed to stop. How many Ad Nauseams does he play?
He plays 2.
Yeah, hitting the other Ad Nauseam would kill him. So does he have enough spells for Tendrils? I think he does. He's played 3 spells so far. Yeah, you stop. There's no reason to risk it.
Stop this. Okay. No. Lotus Petal. Lotus
All right,
Petal.
Petal.
5 spells.
It's 5 spells. Chrome Mox will make 7. Chrome Mox, that one imprints Brainstorm.
6. I'm on 5.
Chrome Mox imprinting what?
Chrome Mox imprint 1 card in hand. Yeah, just
1 card he's playing around. There's no Mind Break traps in the main, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Could throw in a Duress here if he really wants to.
40s.
So we're at 7 spells.
Lines of Diamond.
Lion's Eye is 8.
Another Lines of Diamond.
9. He has to remember the Jete life. Make sure he Tendrils for enough to overcome the Jete. Time to take a peek.
Dark Ritual.
Nope, Dark Ritual. That's, I believe, 10 spells.
No, I'm 10.
3 black.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And the ritual is 10.
And 8, 9, 11. 10. 10. 10, yeah. That's the 10 spells, yeah.
1, 2, 10, right.
Okay, 3 black mana.
3 black mana. 3, takes 3, 3, 3.
Yeah. Oh, you got this, okay. Got another one of them. Be nice, okay.
Blue, okay.
3 black mana. I take 2 mana. Double Ritual. 11 spell.
Then 6. 6 mana. Wait.
6 mana. Take 2.
Yeah, there's the 12th spell.
9 mana.
That should be good enough. Tendrils of Agony has Storm, so it'll drain 2 life from his opponent for every spell that's been cast. Up to 13. He sees Lord of Atlantis, so path is clear. 13 spells. Tendrils will be the 14th spell. There'll be 14 copies of a drain for 2 sitting on the stack, so minus 28 for you. And Austria looks poised to take a 1-0 lead here in Legacy.
So I got 7 mana left, right? 7 mana left?
8, maybe.
8 mana left. 8 mana, sorry. 8 mana left. 8.
8.
7 mana left.
7.
Another Duress. Brainstorm.
Come
What's he
on.
doing?
Brainstorming.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's hogging camera time from his teammates.
Yeah, that's true.
So I got
We do have another
6
match
mana.
on another table, by the way. China has taken game 1 in each of the other 2
mana,
matches.
okay, so I play
Wu
another
Tong
double
with his
ritual.
standard deck. He's playing a Jund build, has taken game 1. The Austrian standard deck is Benedict Klauser playing control deck. Sphinx of Jawar Isle, Johnny Vengeance, the blue-white-red control. And all right, there's the Tendrils. So Austria is on the board. Austria takes the lead in Legacy, but China's up in both standard and extended. So I think we're going to go take a peek at the standard match now. Wu Tong from China has a pretty interesting take on the Jund deck. His Jund deck has Vampire Nighthawk in it.
Yeah, I really like this deck, and it really presents a ton of problems for Benedict Klauser's deck. Benedict's playing blue-white-red control, and so he's got Wall of Denial, he's got Sphinx of Jawar Isle,
Right.
but he can't block a Vampire Nighthawk
Because of the Death Touch?
because of the Death Touch.
He does have 4 Lightning Bolt, 2 Path, 3 Oblivion Ring, 2 Day of Judgment.
Sure.
But he's actually got 4 Flash Freeze in the main. Can't block. That doesn't stop the Nighthawk, although it stops a lot of other things. 3 Double Negative in the main. I mean, this is, in theory, the standard has no control deck. I mean, that's kind of the way it's felt like. You've got the Jund has got such good card advantage that the blue decks lose on card advantage, so why would you play blue? Well, Klauser's running blue.
Yeah, very, very classic looking.
Yeah, it is a very old school deck. It's an old school player. Right, Benedict Klauser has been around. I mean, I played against this guy back in the day, back in the 90s. He had 4 top 8s. He was definitely, one of the better players on tour.
Okay. No lands.
He's got 4 Pro Tour top 8s. He had a World's top 8.
Sehr gut.
Yeah, Klauser.
So Benedict Klauser's last top 8 was 8th at Pro Tour New Orleans in 2001.
Wow.
Before that, he was in that pretty famous Los Angeles 2001 top 8, which was Camille Cornelissen.
Sure.
In the finals with Mike Bostelnik.
Yeah, Finkel finished in the semis.
Before that, it was the World Championships in 2000, where he
that was
finished
the
top
one with
4.
the Finkel-Maher final.
Very famous.
Yeah, it's the best Worlds final we've ever had.
And then he also has a top 4 in Chicago 98-99.
All right. Well, here's
Bobrovsky
Extended.
won.
Well, let's let those guys finish up shuffling and take a look at Extended. Here you see the Austrian red player once again has a Blood Moon out. Also Mages to the Moon. What's the Chalice set to? 0 for the Chalice. Other side has a Sword of the Meek, a ton of land, 1 island. So thanks to the Blood Moon and the Magus, there's 6 mountains and an island in play for Zhang.
There's a figure of destiny.
Zhang does have a Chrome Box in his hand, so he can potentially get a second blue mana. All right. Figure of Destiny comes down for Lehner. Bernard Lehner is the extended player for Austria. He's down 1 game. He's trying to equalize. He's had the early Blood Moon both games.
Getting in for 6 here.
Yeah. Magus and a doubly pumped figure.
How many hands? Okay. Go.
Oh, that Chalice is stopping Chrome Mox. It's funny. He's got the Blood Moon messing up most of his lands, and the Chalice for 0 is stopping the Chrome Mox from getting out from under that. There's an Engineered Explosives for 1, so that'll deal with the figure. So Zhang's extended deck in terms of basic land is just the 4 islands. Those are the only basics he's got. And with Chrome Mox locked out by the Chalice, he's never getting a mana other than blue. I mean, how does he... I'm not even sure I see how he can come back. He can get multiple islands in play.
If he gets multiple islands, he gets Tezzeret.
He gets Tezzeret.
If he plays Tezzeret, he gets...
Tezzeret, go get the combo pieces.
Go get Thopter Foundry from Thopter Foundry.
But essentially, his deck has been reduced down to find a second island for Tezzeret.
Yes.
I mean, he's got Thopter Foundry in his hand, but he doesn't have either the white or the black he needs for the other side of it.
Right, another gray ogre.
Draws another land, so 2 Magus of the Moons.
It's amazing how many of these extended and legacy matches I watch, and they just really come down to 2/2s,
attacking with 3 mana 2/2s.
Yeah,
I mean, it's these crazy powerful cards, but a lot of times they just cancel each other out. I mean, in this case, the Magus is doing incredibly powerful things, right?
Sure.
I mean, knocking off the lands. So Zhang's down to 2. I don't see an out. It looks like Bernard Lehner is going to even this at a game apiece. Lehner looking over at his teammates. How's it going?
胡总，那边谁赢了？你这干嘛呢？
Yeah, shows the turn.
So, pressure.
Jiang Zhang draws.
Is it Island Tesserator?
Even then, does he have one card to go get it? Nope, scoops him up. So extended will come down to game 3. Bernard Lehner has gotten the quick Blood Moon twice. Worked for him once. Did not work for him the other time. So let's go check in on Standard in the middle. See if we can get Ben Klauser and Wu Tong some airtime. We are underway in Standard now.
See a Jerry Refuge in play from Benedict Klauser.
Yep. Little Zendikar-fueled life gain for you.
Rootbound Crag on the Chinese side of the table.
Yeah, so we talked about Klauser's control deck. Wu Tong, we has the Jund with Vampire Nighthawk.
He also has Malakir Bloodwitch in the sideboard ×4, which I imagine we'll see. I imagine we'll see those in this match.
Yeah, protection from white seems pretty relevant.
Doesn't offer protection from Day of Judgment, but and there it is one.
Yeah, and one's in his hand. Yeah, Bloodwitch, Thrynax, Blightning, Nighthawk, and I think Bloodbraid on the left.
Sure looks like it.
Oh,
Spreading
Seas.
The anti-Jund
That
tech
tech has been sweeping everybody's been buzzing about this. The Jund mana base is kind of sketchy. If you turn their Tri-Land into an island with something like Spreading Seas, can be really disruptive to their game plan. So many of their cards cost so many different colors.
And apparently the key color to knock out is red.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's what Jerry T was telling me. He's playing... He was playing Spread 'em in Standard, which is, he's got 8 of these.
Is he playing Convincing Mirage?
He's playing Convincing Mirage.
Which is just Spreading Seas without the cantrip?
Exactly.
Crazy.
So a bunch of Cascade spells that cascade into it. Johnny Vengeant. It's pretty nifty deck. He could not beat vampires, though.
No, I imagine not. All right, well, Jund untaps with a swamp and an island in play. Not exactly the way the Jund mana base is drawn up.
It'd be very funny to see these decks siding in like Sidraxis Spectre or something.
I think Wu Tong seems to have a fetch land and a Nighthawk. Does he just go get a second swamp here, or does he go get...
Well, one of the nice things about the Nighthawk is, he can... It seems a little easier to cast than a Thrynax or... Especially if people are cutting off one of your lands. But it makes him want to get a second black.
Like if he has no access to green mana. Looks like he's declined the Nighthawk. He could have cracked for a swamp for Nighthawk, but he has no access to green mana, and I think he decided, yeah, Spreading Seas is doing really good work here. Look what it's done to this draw. Wu Tong could have played Nighthawk here and had red and green off the crag, but instead he's forced to use that fetch land on a forest, it looks like.
Well, it's also hard for them to Blightning you without red mana.
Oh, second fetch land off the top. That's good news. Wu
So now you
Tong.
can get a black and
It's interesting. Wu Tong chose not to crack his fetch land. He just wants to draw land. So now that he's got a different way to get green, yeah, presumably. And there's a swamp, so this is going to be a Nighthawk.
So it says Wu Tong up on the screen, but it's actually Tong Wu. And there's the Vampire Nighthawk. The consensus first pick in Zendikar draft.
Nighthawk?
I did a draft after Grand Prix Tampa with LSV where he took a Malakir Blood Witch and passed me a Nighthawk. And then after the draft, he said I probably should have taken Nighthawk over Malakir Blood Witch. Give you an idea how highly regarded that card is right now.
Sure. Pretty even match here in the team championship. China is up a game here in Standard. They've split 2 in Extended, and Austria is up a game in Legacy. Pretty much a flat-footed tie right now. Best 2 out of 3 matches wins the World Team Championship.
We need to figure out split-screen technology for the webcast for next year's Worlds. There's so much action going on all these different screens. Keep seeing dark rituals out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah. Tongwu looks over.
木兰行吗？
Yeah, the lack of red mana really pinching this draw from Tongwu. He's got Blightning in his hand, he's got a Thrynax in his hand, he's got a pair of Blood Braids in his hand. And he can't cast any of them.
And what it's done is it's given Bennett Clouser the opportunity to have his mana untapped and be able to react, which is what he wants to do.
Totally agree.
To the spells in
yeah, it's the anti-John technology on display. Maelstrom Pulse off the top. Well, at least he can cast it.
Is he going to Maelstrom Pulse the
the Spreading Seas? Totally. Totally Maelstrom Pulse Spreading Seas here, right? What else is he going to do? He's got no other spell he can cast. And he's really been missing his red mana. All right, Nighthawk attacks. There's the pulse.
I think he's going to do it.
Absolutely. Cracks his fetch land for a forest.
You think when they were designing Zendikar, they thought Spreading Seas would be a commonly played constructed card?
I'm going to guess no.
I mean, this is a card that's existed in sets in some form or another. Virtually
Yeah, but never quite 2 mana cantrip, right? It's usually you're down a card for doing it.
Sure.
Or, I mean, the best one previously, there's the Pulse on
There's
Spreading
the Pulse
Seas.
on Spreading Seas.
Clouser should counter this if he can. Right?
I'm sure he's considering it.
I would totally counter
He has
this.
a double negative. I don't know if he wants to use it here.
What, he wants to wait and just counter the red spells? Like, it's so much better for
counter
him.
counter the Bloodbraid Elf and the card you... No, he's going to...
No, I would totally counter this.
What an amazing exchange
This
of
is
cards
crazy.
over Spreading Seas.
Lingering Mirage is probably the best version of that card that has existed before, which was essentially turn it into an island with cycling. Which was particularly relevant back. It was in the Saga block where the Tolarian Academy decks were all the rage. So,
that's right.
Fluctuator decks needed the Lingering Mirage in order to turn off an opponent's Academy. But even that, I think, only saw play in the Fluctuator.
Was that also played in Rome?
I think it was in a later set.
Oh,
it was in.
Too bad.
It wasn't in the first set of the block. It wasn't in Saga. I think it was in Legacy. So Johnny Vengeance comes down and taps the Nighthawk.
Says, please do not untap and attack me.
I might be wrong. I think it was in Legacy. It's draining my knowledge. I certainly have no memory of having it happen to me in Rome. I was playing the last time we were in Rome with an Academy deck. So. That was also extended, so stuff like Wasteland.
Sure.
Seemed a little better. It was block constructed where it showed up in Fluctuator. Anyway, yeah. Enough about turning lands into islands. Yeah, Clouser's game is going great for Clouser. He's got a Johnny locking down the Nighthawk. He's got Spreading Seas turning off the red mana. Tongwu just looks at a hand that does nothing. Clouser's hand, he's full of answers. He's got the Sphinx. He's got a couple of bolts. He's got a Day of Judgment. He's got Essence Scatter. 1, 2, 3, 4. He next turn could tap out for Sphinx if he wants to.
He's in a position where he can probably sit behind a Johnny Vengeance until his opponent does anything and just blow up all the lands.
It's true.
There's no threat forthcoming.
I might go ahead and... I mean, his only permission is an Essence Scatter. He's got a couple of bolts. It's got to be tempting to just play Sphinx. Like, what goes wrong if he taps out for Sphinx? He gets Blightning? That's not the end of the world.
Ja, das kann gerade nicht.
He's going to Spreading Seas another land here.
Does he draw another Spreading Seas? Wow. All right. Yes, drawing another Spreading Seas, clearly better than playing Sphinx of Jawar Isle.
You can hear the other announcers. Apparently Spreading Seas is pronounced exactly the same way in Italian.
It's pronounced Spreading Seas.
Maybe an extra syllable at the end.
Ja, klar.
Did he forget
Crazy
to...
game.
Okay, ja.
Did he forget to
Did
lock
he
down the
forget
Nighthawk?
to-
Nuller-Ding.
How is the Nighthawk untapped?
Stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Counter.
Now we're 2 turns away from a one-sided Armageddon here.
Yeah, we are.
Believe
So the
that's
way
on
to
6.
beat Jund. I mean, a lot of people who've been frustrated in losing to the Jund deck. Here you go. Here's a clinic and what you can do to it. Like, attack the mana. That's the weak link. Yet another turn 1 Blood Moon effect from the Austrian Bernard Lahner. This time it's Magus of the Moon.
So he has shut down his mana and has a threat.
Yep.
That is 7 counters.
Yeah,
That's
second
Armageddon.
die for a Johnny.
Next turn,
Locks down the Nighthawk.
make sure he knows he moves Johnny into the red zone to make sure he's like, yeah, see,
That
it's,
was a little
it's
confusing
tapped.
last turn, apparently. I guess tapping out for Sphinx right before one-sided Armageddon? I don't know about that.
Does he
All right,
even blind
Klauser
up
is
this-
down a game here, so all this does is even this, potentially. The Austrians are in Game 3 in Extended, and they've got a quick Blood Moon. The Austrians are in Game 2 in Legacy, and they're up a game. So China took the early lead, but the Austrians are poised.
Looks like a Wake Thrasher Regery is beating down.
Say that again?
Oh, here comes
Yep, there's
Sphinx
Sphinx.
of Jawar Isle.
Yeah, it looks right. I don't think you need to leave mana up. Nothing can really go wrong here. A land.
Malakir
Look at
Blood
that.
Witch.
Some red mana. Still no green, but he does now have
He's going to
red.
Lightning you and then, yep,
Blightning.
redirect 3 to the Ajani.
Sure. So red mana just in time to prevent the Armageddon. But Tongwu's still facing down a Sphinx.
And Benedict has decided which 2 cards he wants to discard here. He's got some pretty good ones.
Yeah, his hand is Bolt, Bolt, Day of Reckoning, Essence Scatter, and is that another Spreading Seas?
It looks like it is.
So of course you keep the Spreading Seas. That's easy. Yeah, it looks like he's lining up Bolt Wrath, which seems right. He's got the Sphinx. He's not interested in wrathing. He's got the Essence Scatter, so he can stop any creatures. So Johnny's not going to be Armageddoning anytime soon. Oh, interesting. So he uses the Lightning Bolt on the Nighthawk, freeing a Johnny up to lock down mana. Sphinx attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's another Spreading Seas. turning off the red mana. Tong Wu's Jund deck has Swamp, Swamp, Island, Island, Island. And now Johnny's locking down a Swamp. So
You basically have a swamp and
a
colorless
swamp
mana.
and 3 colorless mana available to Tong Wu. Good luck. Oh, and there's a 5/5 untargetable on the other side, and the control player's got a bunch of untapped mana. Good luck. Oh, past the exile in the extended match. So Zhang Xiang manages to get rid of that Magus. White mana off a Chrome Mox, presumably? Over in the Legacy, meanwhile, there's a Wake Thrasher going large and attacking.
Alongside a Regery and a Lord of Atlantis.
Yeah, the fish deck has managed to prevent Ad Nauseam from stitching anything together. And is definitely on the attack now. Which, I mean, every damage you do there is pretty relevant, because Ad Nauseam kind of need, you know, you want to pay 5 or 10 life. And in Standard, Clouds are trying to even things up. His plan has been to attack the Jund mana base, and his plan has been working. The Spreading Seas are in from the sideboard, for the record. 4 Spreading Seas in the board. And this is the matchup you want him in.
Did he bulk him there? Was it Johnny?
Did he, is Johnny going to the face? Is that what's happening now? Makes sense. Tong Wu down to 6,
Yep,
so
he's dead next turn.
dead next turn. Draws a Swamp. Just what he needed. So here's
Sounds
Blood
like an
Witch.
Essence
It's going to get
Scatter.
Essence Scattered. Presumably. Yeah. Essence Scatter the Blood Witch. I think Johnny's got enough counters on it to go again.
Looks
Right?
like it still has 3, yep.
All right, there you go. Ben Clouser evens things at a game apiece. All right, 2 matches are even, and Austria's up a game in Legacy. I think we'll go to Table C. Let's check in on that extended match and see how that's going. Oh, Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage for Zhang Xiang.
Do we know what it's naming?
I bet we can figure it out.
Probably
It's
Blood
naming
Moon,
Blood Moon.
not Demigod of Revenge. So it sounds like there was no Chromox involved in killing the Magus of the Moon. It sounds like a floating mana in response.
Oh, he was able to float one as response to the Magus.
出一堆什么乱七八糟玩意儿，我也死了。没有，我就请老肉请，牛逼人家到我了。
All right, well, the Merfolk got the job done. The fish deck from Lee Bo forces Game 3 in Legacy. So everybody's going to Game 3. Now it's best 2 out of 3 games instead of best 2 out of 3 matches. Everybody's going to Game 3.
觉得就我这手
The one match that's underway right now is this one between Zhang Xiang and Bernard Lehner. It's extended.
You're looking at Bernard right now.
扛不掉。
Bernard is running all-in red deck and has not really managed to get any serious action going. So Zhang Xiang's Tesserator, I would think, has the advantage now.
扛不掉。0
Engineered explosives for 0.
Go.
Thinking about taking out some Moxes.
真的假的？
Sure.
No. I think
Also the ability to take out some tokens. Should he empty the I'm assuming he's playing.
然后
Empty the
如果
orange,
有
yes.
半神的话，我这回合能扛掉，所以我就回合末扛，
Meddling Mage is locking out Blood Moon.
肯定能扛掉。
Zhang goes ahead and he pops the explosives to nail those Chrome Moxes.
You can draw.
What's the threat set in Lehner's deck?
Four hands.
He has Demigod of Revenge, Deus of Calamity.
Those are both 5s, right?
Yes.
So the Mox is not super relevant. He's still got 5 mountains.
It seems like the Engineered Explosives has a potential answer to Empty the Warrens, which is also in the threat set.
Sure.
Is a little better on the board there.
Meddling Mage continues attacking.
出了之后呢？出了之后我决定
16 apiece. I think he's got another explosives in hand, which helps.
就我先出着吧。
What are the white cards?
爆裂物，
Those Mana Tithes?
要不然我下一个0。
That's what I thought from the art. There are Mana Tides. He's running 3 Mana Tides. I think that's what he's got. Oh, now blowing the Chrome Moxes up makes a ton of sense. Never mind. Jiang Zhang from China is 2 steps ahead of us. Blowing up those Chrome Moxes sets up a potential Mana Tide on a
He could
Deus.
see his own hand.
Yeah, that helps, probably.
圣杯如果出一
But yeah, he's set up to potentially Mana Tide and spike away either Deus or Demigod.
不厉害。
Now there's Thopter Foundry.
对，我还能清他那个繁殖力那人儿。OK。0。
Yeah, and there's the explosives for 0 again. Does he get a mana leak as well? Yeah, things looking very good for China. Trying to put a match win up on the board. Yeah. Laner unable to get much of anything going. Meddling Mage Beatdown is not really the way Zhang's planning to win with this Tesserator deck, but hey, whatever works.
我回末把这撅了吧，造一人儿踢的。14，造一人儿踢坏点儿。踢嘛。OK go。
3
What does
mana.
Laner have for us? Seething Song, okay.
这怎么搞？
Perhaps
5
playing
mana.
around the Mana Tithes.
Well, I'm sure he knows there's both Mana Leaks and Mana Tides in his opponent's deck, so even if he doesn't know they're in hand, he knows they exist. What's he planning? Let's get a Magus, some mountains. What's on the left side?
我能让他多支5。
Is that a Deus?
Yeah, Leak Tides can be hard to get anything through that.
岁月。
He just let Seething Song resolve, right?
出大人儿，我能抗5个费。OK。
Yeah, I think he just let that resolve.
横不能给我10俩吧？F 嘛。
So that's 5.
Or does he just play Mages of the Moon here? Oh.
赶快给我抓一个流放。
That Zendikar basic lands look so good.
或者给我抓个组合技。
Yeah, does go for the Magus. So 2 floating, 2 mountains untapped, and we know he's got a mountain in hand. So he's trying to bait permission here so he can sneak out a Deus. Zhang could Mana Leak this.
不能。
Oh, 2 floating. Right, so Mana Leak doesn't work.
You would have to Mana Leak Tithe.
Yeah, but... Interesting.
先生啊，2波有治我就可以了。
And Magus is pretty bad news for
就他现在
Zhang, right?
费，然后他2块地立着。
I mean,
Although if
he
he draws,
can't...
sort of the meek, it doesn't really
他那个
matter.
可能他出一大人怎么办？他剩2费，他给我放一大人。
True.
我看了。
He can't... Mana Leak Tithe does stop it.
That's
So he goes for Mana Leak. It was interesting. I think Laner may get punished for not playing his land yet. Pay. Now, presumably, if that's your plan, you go spike, and make Laner feel bad for not playing a land. Oh, Seething Song. Never mind.
You pay 2 mana in the mana pool and
Yes.
this play this, right?
Oh, does he get to spike
you
this,
have no
which
mana
stops
now.
everything?
Yes.
Nice.
哎，吴头，他那个我使魔流，然后他
Yeah,
想
Seething
让
Song
我使
costs
这个
3.
两个
So those are the 2 floating and the 1. Spike is going to work here.
他现在
Laner gets destroyed for
He gets an extra card out of it.
I mean, Laner held back a land in order to surprise him with a Deus. And he's going to get punished.
我骗了他一热血两哥。
Zhang looks over pretty confidently. Pay, yeah. There's the other one. Slammed it in a hurry. Sure. Unless you're worried about time.
Wow. So he could have had this. If he doesn't, if he has those 3 cards, it's the same. The same as he just basically threw away an extra Seething Song there.
Go.
Yeah, that Zhang had the answers. Laner the turn did not work out the way
Could
Laner
have
wanted
just
it
paid
to.
for the mana leak. Gets tithed anyway.
True. Now Laner may get to resolve a Deus next turn because of it, though. I mean, he plowed through a lot of permission.
I don't think he was holding the Deus. I must have that.
Oh, did we missaw the Seething Song as a Deus?
Yeah, I just
That's
saw
what
a
was
card
going
out
on.
of the corner. I couldn't quite make it out.
Got it. That makes a ton of sense. All right, in Legacy, first turn Thought Seize from Austrian Benjamin Rosholm. Looks at a hand, sees a Daze, sees a Stifle, sees a Curse Catcher.
2 Silvergill Adepts.
I have 18.
Yeah, Lerner needed to play a land there so that he could resolve, so he could pay as much as possible. And I could have resolved Magus if he had. Now he's really in trouble.
You have
Going
8.
to town, he sacrificed an Engineered Explosives and a seat to make some tokens.
Yeah, the aggression is up to 4. Lerner's at 8.
0.
Got basically 2
0,
turns left.
0. Go.
I'm not sure that Magus would have changed much as it turns out. I mean, he'd have the same clock. He'd have the Magus in play, but he's still going to lose to the Flyers from the Thopter Foundry. I'm impressed by the way Jiang Zhang is playing, though.
I guess he figured his mana tithes were going to be dead.
Yeah. China looks poised to put a first match win on. Demigod came off the top. Thoughtseize took the Curse Catcher up in the Legacy match, by the way.
你还有地吗？
He's thinking about counter magic on.
这还真那么伤。
I think he has to play the Demigod and say go here, right?
I don't know what else he's going to do. There's another Curse Catcher down for Lebo. Yeah, here's tap out. Play a mountain. This time he plays her on Mana Tithe. Plays the Demigod with 1 left to pay.
3 hands. 3 hands. 吴头，他出了一半神，我看不动。他血剩8，我把这所有神器全撅了日是吗？回头末，他能扛啊！他扛我扰咒的话，我能打
Looks like Zhang is talking with his teammates.
7-1，我能到7个人出来。
It's hard to know which match he's talking about, right? Is he offering advice? Up in Legacy, Silvergill Adept has been added to the table, so the Merfolk beatdown is on, and the Curse Catcher is sort of poised. We also know there's a daze in hand. So the way the fish deck is drawn up. Since as Divining Top comes down on turn 2 with a mana available left to pay because of that daze.
出牌你咪爆你户啊！出牌咪爆你户啊！
They're still discussing the demigod, I think. Yep.
I haven't seen Zhang's hand. What are his options? Did he have?
It doesn't matter. He was.
Is that just an elaborate, I have permission, I'm choosing not to use it bluff?
I guess they're loading up on Thopter tokens.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And he gets the Thopter down too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 21 to 8.
21.
It's a lot of flyers.
Pretty happy to
Smash.
get in for 5-4 over the next 2 turns. Block
Sure.
Meddling Mage.
Zhang going for the kill here. Sacked his Thopter Foundry. He thinks this is enough flyers. Meanwhile, over in Legacy, Wasteland has deprived Razom of his Underground Sea, making the Curse Catcher in the Daze that much more powerful. Razom's board is just an island and a Divining Top. He's getting attacked by a Curse Catcher and an Adept. Here comes an additional Adept, revealing, was that Reachery?
Or revealing Wake Crasher.
Wave Thresher, yeah. All right, uses his top. So 5 power attacking for the fish player.
撞你形势怎么样？
Daze and Curse Catcher available for disruption.
Das Problem ist einfach, dass ich seit Anfang des Spiels keine Möglichkeit habe zu gewinnen eigentlich.
Not looking good for Austria. We may see China claim the world team title.
I'm actually speechless at the thought of that. I mean, that's amazing.
It really is.
It's just not, when people handicapped their top 8s, even not even teams in the top 4. I don't
Nobody
know that many
mentioned
people
China.
put China.
I mean, they finished 7th and 10th the last couple of years. Something like 7, 10, 11 in the last 3 years.
Yep.
I mean, they've been relevant, but they've never made a serious run at advancing to the finals. And here they are. They look totally poised to win this. The Legacy player's got 5 power worth of attacker plus the disruption. I mean, I don't know how ad nauseum stitches a win together through all of that. And here we see Zhang with his extended Tesserator deck seems to have survived the explosive all-in red deck.
And 6, you have 2.
Yeah, could mean the super experienced Ben Klauser in Standard just doesn't matter. They may lose the other 2 matches before Ben even has time to potentially win in Standard. All right, all in red attacks, untaps. He's facing a lethal attack. I mean, he has to draw a blocker, or he's just dead on board. Like if he didn't draw a relevant spell, then this match is over.
我主要看他尾了我就赢了。
You're gonna want to go to A in a hurry after this ends. Legacy attacks. Mutavault has been powered up. Adept, Mutavault, and Curse Catcher. That is 7. Stifles the Divining Top.
他有什么能赢我呀？
Funny. Not even going to let him look at more cards.
他有什么能赢我呀？这应该没爆猎物，他没爆猎物。
Yeah.
主牌背牌都没爆猎物。
This is looking.
Yeah, I
very
think
much
China's
like
got it.
China
I really
is gonna
do.
Be the
World team champions from China.
那火龙卷也卷不死我呀！
No Americans and no Japanese in this top 8, but we have Chinese world champions.
Right of Flame.
Right of Flame 4. Okay, empty the Warrens. That helps. but those guys don't fly. Lotus Petal gets dazed in the Legacy match. Another
Hoping
Lotus Petal
maybe
resolves.
a Chinese player doesn't know that the Thopter tokens fly.
Well, Demigod flies, right?
3 life,
Yeah, but
18.
Bernard's at
He takes.
2.
Oh, he's at 2? I thought he was
Yeah.
at.
Oh no, he took a bunch last turn.
Oh, I thought he was at 4.
看看他手牌再踢吧。万一有个什么乱七八糟玩意儿给我翻盘了，我还18。
Lerner's at 2. There's 5. Yeah. 4 flying attackers should get the job done here.
Have a look.
Thutsies, what is it?
Thutsies, it's a mountain. Attack. China wins that match. Jiang Zhang, 2-1 over Bernard Lehner. Get us to A, please. Rajan is trying to stitch things together. He got 1 Lotus Petal dazed. He was able to play a second Lotus Petal. Was able to play a Chrome Mox. Here is Dark Ritual.
So that Lotus Petal is his insurance policy against the Curse Catcher.
Yeah, Rozone is at 7. This is 1-1, so this is game 3. And China's up a match. So if Libo wins here, then China are your world team champions. Rozone at 7. There are 7 power worth of attackers on the other side of the table. All right, he resolves Divining Top. If he can find Ad Nauseam and flip it, trying to stitch this together on the last possible turn. He's battled through a daze. What's he looking at? There's the hand. There's the hand. Austria concedes, and China on the back of Li Bo's undefeated run in Legacy. 6 matches of his lifetime. He's only 6 matches of Legacy he's ever played. He won all 6 of them, and China wins the World Team Championship. Tong Wu and Benedict Klauser will not finish their standard match because we're done. The World Team title is over, and China will be hoisting the hardware in the awards ceremony.